It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Very good morning. Welcome back to your Wednesday morning on Expresso on SABC3. Time right now to reflect on some very sad news, of course, that still has the country reeling from the shock of the murder of Port Elizabeth teacher Jayde Panayiotou. Now, her husband Christopher appeared in the Port Elizabeth Magistrate's court yesterday for his bail hearing after being charged with her murder. And with us on the line to give us the latest on the case is leigh-anne, court reporter for the Herald. Leigh-anne, thank you very much for taking our call. Now,
good morning, Expresso.
I understand there was a fairly chaotic day in court yesterday with delays and postponements that were relating to an affidavit brought by the state regarding Mr. Panayotou's access to a Cypriot passport, which puts him as a possible flight risk. Now, what was the defence's response to this?
Yeah, it seems like the state did make a big case, a big deal of him being a threat of flight risk. The defense hit back by saying, the state made a big fuss earlier about his finances, saying, he's accrued a whole lot of debt over the, recent months and so on. But now trying to make him look like some kind of wealthy traveler. And I think his defense actually used the word globetrotter. So the state has had a bit of a contradiction in their case, but it does seem like that's the biggest part of their case at the moment.
Yeah. And in court yesterday, the state also claimed that Mr. Panayiotou had wiped all of the data off of his and his alleged mistress's mobile phones only a few days after his wife was found murdered. Now, what's the state's contention here, and what did Mr. Panayiotou's lawyer have to say in defense to this?
Well, Panayiotou has now openly admitted to having an affair with the woman's name was Chanel Coates. So the state said that they were looking for information that showed he might have known about the Cypriot passport being issued to him. I personally believe that they're also trying to emphasize their previous claims that he's willing to destroy evidence, as was shown through recordings and stuff that they've showed earlier. The defense's response should so that maybe he just wanted to, delete evidence of his affair. He didn't want his family, didn't want his wife's family to find out about it.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that now we might never find out what was on the phone, regardless of what it was.
Yeah, and then very important evidence it might be indeed. But also the fact that there was a sting operation that happened that the defense is saying was made or was taken on in order to try and implicate Mr. Panayiotou, and they want the evidence gathered from that video recording to be seen as inadmissible by the court. How crucial might this evidence be?
Well, earlier this week, last week, we listened to the defense reading the transcripts of that, and it sounded like pretty damning evidence, and if it stands, it will be crucial to their case. But the state does claim that this isn't the only ace in the hole. They have more evidence linking Panayiotou to the crime, something like the money being paid to the accused. They're looking at touch DNA, fingerprints on the money, cell phone records. So they claim they have a strong case besides these recordings, but if they can get the recordings to stand, it would make the case a whole lot stronger.
And of course, motive has been one of the biggest questions. So has the state put forward any kind of potential motive that they might think is present?
Well, early affidavits from the investigating officer claims that, they looked again at his finances, saying he was in quite a bit of debt, saying that with the wife and the mistress, he might have trouble sustaining both relationships, and opted to have his wife killed just to, lower his debt a little bit. So it seems like that's their motive at this point, but I guess more possibilities will come up as the case progresses.
Indeed. And what are we expecting from today's proceedings in court?
Well, yesterday the defense finished their heads of argument. The state was still arguing theirs, and will probably continue this morning. And from there, the ball's probably in the magistrate's court, so to speak.
Indeed. Leigh-anne, thank you very, very much for your insight. We really do appreciate it.
100%. Thanks, Expresso.
That's court reporter leigh-anne giving us the latest on the Jayde Panayiotou murder case in the Port Elizabeth High Court, which, of course, the proceedings of which will continue today at 9 o'clock in the morning. But right now, let's catch up on other headlines of the morning with Graham.